This is CBS 7 News at 10. Your eye on West Texas.
We begin tonight at 10 o'clock with three serious issues impacting West Texas.
From the water shortage to the housing crisis, CBS 7 crews are taking a closer look tonight into what city leaders are calling regional problems.
We talk with officials in Midland about the new water rates going into effect next week. Meanwhile, code enforcement officers are shifting their focus to another issue that some say is destroying the West Texas landscape.
And while the oil boom continues to bring in more people to the Permian Basin, one local senior center is providing a solution, but not without some resistance. We'll have that CBS 7 investigative report in just a few minutes.
But first, take a look at the drought tonight. Water supplies are dwindling in West Texas. Now, one city says they are no longer playing nice if you use too much.
Midland's water rate increase will take effect next week, but a letter sent out this week is already causing an uproar from residents. CBS 7 Shelley Childers joined us in the studio to say why the city says they have no other choice. Shelley?
Midland Mayor Wes Perry says their efforts to curb water use last summer did not work. And this summer they have even less water to sell. This letter is a wake-up call.
It's a letter flooding mailboxes around town, causing quite a stir in Midland.
We didn't want any surprises. It would be a terrible thing for a guy to open up his bill in June and realize he just spent $4,000 worth of water and he had no idea.
To save residents from being surprised when they get their next water bill, they're shocking them into reality now.
I know that there was a little bit of sticker shock when I looked at the letter.
The city of Midland says last year's approach to saving water failed, and this year they have even less to work with. The Colorado River Municipal Water District supplied Midland with 22 million gallons of water a day in 2011. This summer they're cutting that back to 13 million gallons a day.
We don't have the water to sell. That's just not there.
So they're charging residents extra for going over 10,000 gallons a month.
It's 200 and something for this first one.
Yeah. And is that something you can afford?
Well, no, it just means I'm going to water less.
Even more shocking than the price for some was how much the city says they use.
My water would go up to $1,000 in the month of July and August next year if I had the same usage as I had last year. And I think that's just ridiculous.
Are you worried at all that maybe you are using too much water?
No.
The city says they read every water meter in Midland every month, but covering thousands of meters in only 30 days concerns even the mayor.
I'm concerned about that. We have 5 meter readers and they have to read 37,000 meters every month. So do the math. It's hard to do.
Mayor Perry says that 99% of the meters are read each month.
There's sometimes there are months that you might have a meter reader sick or quit, so yeah, there may be some gaps in there, but the goal is to have the meter read every single month.
The city plans to hire more meter readers this summer, specifically to make sure every meter is read on the correct day each month.
Mayor Perry says if you have any questions about your water bill or how much water you're being charged for, you should call the city to make sure the meter was read correctly and to make sure you don't have a water leak. Tomorrow, the city of Midland will be demonstrating to us how they go about reading meters. We'll, of course, bring you that story tomorrow. Reporting live in the studio, Shelley Childers, CBS 7 News.
Shelley, thank you. Mayor Perry says the city won't be making any money off the rate increase. They actually expect to sell less revenue than they had before because they have less water to sell. All revenues from water bills go straight into the city's water fund, which is used to treat and purchase water. The city of Midland has sent a letter to customers along with their water bill illustrating how the new water rates will impact you. The following numbers illustrate how one Midland customer's rates could change. In May of 2011, this customer used 24,000 gallons. The bill was close to $87. If the customer uses the same amount of water this year, the new rate will increase to $314.
Do you believe your water usage is correct in their letter? We posted that question on our CBS 7 Facebook page. Here's what some of you had to say. Robin replied, nope, it ranged from 32,000 to 9,000. And Sarah wrote, I'm going to insist that they read my meter in my presence.
There are ways to drastically reduce your water usage without changing your habits, but it will be an investment. Lowe's Home Improvement Store has a large variety of appliances, from shower heads to washing machines, that are efficient. Even their new dual flush toilets save an extra 0.6 gallons per flush. They tell us modern appliances like washing machines use much less water per load.
Well, the old version used 30 at the extra small, 50 at the extra large, compared to 8 on this here for a small load, 15 gallons at the max. So you're more than half, you cut it already. So that helps with the water bill every month as well.
They tell us the dual flush toilet has been a popular item recently.
A new hotline that goes through the Big Spring Police Department will allow residents to call in and report others who may be overwatering their lawns or watering at the wrong time. Code enforcement officials say that having these types of resources will help them patrol the issue. Now, if you'd like to report someone who is wasting water, you're urged in Big Spring to call 264-2548.
City leaders are also coming down hard on property owners who refuse to take care of unruly grass and litter.
Get ready to face a stiff fine if city crews have to come take care of that problem. CBS 7's Jennifer Samp explains many cities will begin enforcing a code regulation to hold property owners accountable for a messy area.
Bottles, cigarettes, and plastic bags.
You name it, it's out there.
Doreen Richardson with Keep Midland Beautiful says she's seen it all.
Do some pulling.
But in the past year, the work of cleaning after other people has become overwhelming.
This lot was probably cleaned up 4 or 5 months ago, and now you look at how trashed it is.
Probably a lot of it has to do with the transient nature of the folks that are in town. A lot of them don't have the same sense of community that others of us do.
It's caught the attention of city leaders across West Texas. Midland City Councilman Scott Dufford says it's time to refocus the attention back on the property owner.
Going about and making sure that those folks that own those lots are cleaning up those lots.
I would like to think that the property owner would go out and clean it up.
Many cities already have a code enforcement in place where a written warning is given if you have excessive vegetation or litter on your land. If it's not taken care of, well, the city will do it for you, but at a cost of up to a $500 fine for their hard work. Dufford says the code wasn't enforced before because the litter was never this bad.
Well, the litter problem has gotten a whole lot worse this year than I think that we've ever seen it.
But the code enforcement officers who will be doing the cleanup are the same officers who are citing water violations. City leaders say both codes will be enforced, but water is first priority.
Our code enforcement guys, we're asking them to do yeoman's work.
Either way, Richardson says she's glad something is being done. In Midland, Jennifer Samp, CBS 7 News.
Jennifer, thanks very much. According to the City of Odessa website, a full-time code enforcement officer is needed. The position offers a monthly salary of $2,394. You can find a link to the information by going to our website at cbs7.com.
New tonight at 10 o'clock, with the extreme housing shortage in West Texas, desperate times call for desperate measures. Now, even retirement communities are filling up.
As CBS 7's Shannon Murray explains, the people moving in, though, are not their typical residents. Shannon?
Jay Tatum, it all started when a viewer called into our newsroom. He was very upset that Lincoln Tower retirement residence was allowing oil field workers to move in just down the hall from his elderly mother. So we did some digging of our own and found out it's true.
Anthony Satterley found the perfect job in Odessa. There's just one problem.
I couldn't find a place.
So she started doing some research.
It was on Craigslist.
What she found was a place to stay, but not exactly what she expected.
Yeah, I looked at the address and I was like, is this for young people too?
Turns out it is now. Traditionally, Lincoln Tower retirement residence is for senior living only. But with extra room to spare, management decided to make an exception and cash in on the West Texas housing shortage.
It bothers me.
Lorna Markham has lived at Lincoln Tower for over a year. She says this is not what she signed up for, and others who did not want to go on camera expressed concerns about their safety.
It bothers me because I'm just 61.
But her younger neighbors say while their name sits on apartment and housing wait lists, this is their only option.
I was staying in a hotel spending $500 a week in a Motel 6.
For temporary and not paying a ridiculous rent that I can't afford for an entire year, it's cheaper for me. the day that I signed. She signed like at least 4 or 5, and then I saw a couple in the next day.
However, when we called the corporate office in Salem, Oregon, they were unaware of the situation. Representatives did not want to speak on camera, but say while the community has made an exception recently to provide lodging to non-seniors due to a shortage of available housing, the community does not actively plan to make similar accommodations in the future. They say Lincoln Tower is committed to exclusively serving area seniors. For now, these non-senior residents say despite the unconventional arrangement, having a place to live is a sigh of relief.
It's been nice to have a roof over my head.
That Lincoln Tower corporate spokesperson tells me that now all non-senior residents will be asked to move out when their contract ends. Now, most of those non-senior residents that I talked to here on the property today say this is temporary, and right now they have a month-to-month agreement with Lincoln Tower. Reporting live in Ector County, Shannon Murray, CBS 7 News.
Shannon, thanks. Staffing agency tells us they have hundreds of jobs to fill but can't find housing for potential workers. Luckily, several projects are underway to bring relief, though. Douglas Carlson and his business partner, Hoxie Smith, are currently turning the old Trinity Towers in Midland into worker housing for oil companies.
We like 1 year, 2 year leases, and so the company would know that they have this many rooms, and if someone's living there, fine. If someone's not living there and they have an employee coming to town, man, we got a room, boom, you're in it.
The towers could accommodate up to 200 workers. Now, if you are a company owner interested in the Trinity Towers, you can call Douglas Carlson at area code 303-795-2004. If you missed that number, call us here. We'll pass it along.